To what extent will engaging community members in a collaborative arts project strengthen the Jamaica Plain neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts by deepening individuals' critical thinking skills, sense of belonging, and interest in community advocacy? I seek to answer this question in my thesis project. While living in a variety of locations, both internationally and throughout the U.S., I have experienced how although individuals can geographically live next to one another, community does not just happen automatically, it has to be developed. This reminder inspired my exploration of this topic. Within my current community of Jamaica Plain, I have noticed a gap that is present between community members. Jamaica Plain, which is one of Boston's most ethnically and socioeconomically diverse neighborhoods, has experienced a divide as gentrification has developed here. Yet amidst this gap, while living here, I have experienced how the arts and community events have worked to combat this divide by gathering neighborhood residents from varied backgrounds to be in conversation with one another. I seek to further this type of community programming in Jamaica Plain. Socially engaged artist Kim Hyunsuk expresses the benefits of community art programs, explaining creativity and character are both essential elements that are required of a society's members in order for that society to become a democratic citizenship, and that these two factors can be developed through socially engaged art practice. As community members are in dialogue through the art-making process, new understanding about themselves and others is generated. As we develop this type of self and group reflection, relationships with one another grow, and through that, the community at large also flourishes. In considering this research, I will be leading a collaborative community beehive sculpture project called Welcome to the Hive. It will provide a hands-on creative experience that requires community members to use higher-order thinking skills towards the goal of generating greater understanding of one another. I chose a beehive as the form of the sculpture to reflect how bee colonies resemble a lifestyle similar to densely packed urban communities, reflective of the urban community I am working in. I feel this project could be a powerful way of challenging the thinking of these varied community members. In developing this project, I was especially inspired by conceptual artist Kate Brown's Cocoon Project as a model of how to provide a space for community members' voices to be heard and new learning to be developed. Brown creates her cocoon projects in locations with histories of forced involuntary migrations. To build the cocoons, she uses wire and natural resources found in the environment in which she is working, and has community members help build and collage into it. I would like to echo this participatory model of providing a space for dialogue about individual stories, reflection on personal and peer experiences, and collaborative questioning and discussion of how we can together shape our greater community. Within our 21st century world, there is a growing need to make art attractive, relevant, and relational to be effective. In community-based projects, artists need to stimulate audience participation, experimentation, and questioning of assumptions to awaken people to new ways of seeing everyday life experiences. Cultivating the connections between critical thinking and the arts in this way is one of the main missions of my Welcome to the Hive community project. Through art practices, I hope that deeper critical thinking about oneself and their relationship with others can be formed. Art theorist and perceptual psychologist Rudolf Arnheim suggested that there is a natural relationship between art and thought, pointing out that thinking calls for visual images and images contain thought. The community collaging of the beehive structure will take place in a location of shared space outside the Stony Brook train station in the Southwest Corridor Park in Jamaica Plain. This park, which was originally planned to be a highway in the 1960s, instead became a train system with the surrounding park after community protesting sparked this change. I will collaborate with volunteers to build the outer frame of the beehive structure with wire and natural materials as shown in this sketch. From there, we will provide participants with hexagonal cell templates and ask that they collage what home means to them onto it. As they are collaging, I will ask that they consider questions such as what colors, smells, textures, tastes, and sounds are most prominent in your home. They can use personal, found, recycled, and art materials to collage onto these pieces. On the Community Collaging Event Day, participants will add their collaged beehive templates into the beehive structure. And after adding their individual pieces, they will collect found and recycled materials in the surrounding environment to further collage into the empty spaces of the beehive. As participants are working, I will remind them to not be precious with their pieces, but instead feel confident to take risks, share ideas, be inspired by others, and experiment with materials to see how their individual pieces evolve through this collaging process. Their pieces will no longer just be individual items, but will now be molded, shifted, and altered when collaged with others, taking on new form and meaning. They are not just creating individual pieces, but together creating one piece reflective of their community as a whole.